pleasant day to each and every one of you, Hospitality Management students. Welcome to Elective 1, Rooms Division Management and Control. Welcome to our class. For today's lesson, we are going to discuss Module 2.2, which is the key executives and department heads. For the learning objectives at the end of this module, or at the end of the lesson video, or after you watch it, you must be able to, number 1, outline the duties and responsibilities of key executives and department heads. Number 2, discuss the responsibilities and duties of rooms division personnel. And of course, you must further reiterate those key personnels and department heads within the hotel industry. So now let's discuss key executives and department heads. So this is just a continuation of Module 2.1. Some of the terms here, or some of the roles of the general managers are mentioned in 2.1 or in Module 2.1. So we will just further discuss other specific roles in a hotel industry. So the role of a general manager. So as we all know, GM or the general manager is ultimately responsible in the performance of the hotel and the employees. So ibig sabihin, si general manager, hindi lang niya focus ang mas maging successful pa yung hotel. But of course, yung kanyang mga employees. So remember that whenever you are in a top position, top management level, you must really have a compassion towards your employees. Because without your employees, the operation of a certain establishment, particularly a hotel, will not really work. So in Tagalog, kung wala yung mga employees natin, if we are not taking care properly of them, kung hindi natin binibigay yung para sa kanila, ibig sabihin, hindi magiging maayos yung hotel operation. And in return, marami tayong mga guests ang magkakaroon ng tinatawag na unsatisfaction or magkakaroon sila ng feeling na hindi pala maayos sa hotel na to. Why not lumipat ako sa ibang hotel? Baka mas okay yung mga services, baka mas okay yung treatment ng mga employees towards the tourists or towards the guests. So the GM is the leader of a hotel, no doubt to that. As he or she is held accountable for hotel's level of profitability by the corporation or owners. So we have here some of the qualities or the personal qualities for you to become a general manager. Who knows, someday you will be a general manager in your own hotel, or you might own a particular hotel someday. Of course, number 1 is leadership. This is very important. For you to be a good leader, you should also be a good follower. So no one starts with a high position. Everyone starts with a lower position and then eventually gets promoted until na marating na nila yung pinaka-higher position. Attention to detail. Ibig sabihin, you are attentive, you know everything, you are fully knowledgeable, you are, let's say, well-skilled, at syempre, nabibigyan mo ng importansya lahat ng mga detalye sa iyong company. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang puro profit. May mga details din kasi na involve yung ating mga employees, involve yung mga guests, involve yung community, yung society at yung environment. Follow through getting the job done. So, ibig sabihin, as a general manager, ikaw yung nasa highest position, ibig sabihin, you should get the job done as much as possible. Kung may pinagawa ka, kung may kailangan ka rin gawin, ibig sabihin, ahead of time, matapos mo siya. Hindi mo na siya ipagsasabukas pa. So, ibig sabihin, you are really punctual sa time. You are really punctual or on time din sa pag-submit ng mga reports at ng mga dapat na trabaho. People skills. When we say people skills, you know how to mingle with other people. Ibig sabihin, you know how to, let's say, you know how to communicate with other people. Kasi hindi porket ikaw yung boss, ikaw na yung masusunod. Ibig sabihin, you know how to observe, you know how to know kung ano yung needs ng iyong mga employees. Ibig sabihin, people skills, you have the compassion, you have a sense of caring sa iyong mga employees. Next one is patience. So as a general manager, you have a lot of workloads, marami kang trabaho, hindi ka mauubusan talaga ng trabaho, especially you are at top position. Kasi sabi, di ba, you are the leader of a hotel. So ibig sabihin, even if there are conflicts, problems, challenges that might arise in a particular hotel, you should be patient. Okay? You should be patient, you should be responsible, you should know how to calm down yourself in case may mga mangyaring problema. Because sometimes, yung mga boss, that's why nade-depress sila, hindi na nila kinakaya yung workload, it's because hindi sila sanay na mag-handle ng problems. Wala silang pasensya with regards to their employees, wala silang pasensya na sa paggawa ng mga reports. So most likely, mag-fail talaga yung isang business kapag ganun yung attitude and personality. And ability to delegate effectively. So as a general manager, you have to delegate your task. You have to distribute yung mga tasks, mga responsibilities. So dapat, ma-delegate mo yon, maibigay mo yon sa tamang tao, ma-explain mo kung ano yung mga dapat nilang gawin at hindi nila dapat gawin with regards to a particular task, para maiwasan natin yung problema. Because sometimes, yung trabaho talaga kasi is simple lang. Ang daling intindihin ng trabaho, pero bakit pag binigay mo na sa ibang tao, mali-mali yung ginagawa nila? Bakit pag binigay mo na sa ibang empleyado, tama naman yung ginawa? So, ibig lang sabihin nun, the general manager should take account, okay? Should be accountable, should be responsible, lalong-lalo na sa pag-delegate ng mga task within the hotel. So, a successful general manager selects and trains the best people. And I believe that you are one of the best people na someday ititrain ng mga general managers na ito. So, the GM sets the tone, a structure of excellence, and others try to match it. So, ibig sabihin, as a general manager, you are aiming not just for profit, but to aim for excellence. You want to be the general manager na nakilala yung hotel na to because of you and because of your subordinates. One of the best popular hotels in the Philippines at kilala ka bilang general manager. And of course, other people will be inspired to know na ganun pala yung tradition, ganun pala yung culture at pamamalakad ng particular general manager na ito. So, general managers need to understand, empathize, and allow for the cultures of both guests and employees. So, sabi ko nga kanina, a general manager should know how to take care to his or her employees at lalong-lalo na sa guests. There should be an empathy. Ibig sabihin, you have an interest, you have a concern sa iyong mga co-workers and clients or guests. And at the same time, you must be open sa iba't ibang cultures within the organization or the company. Ibig sabihin nun, your guests, yung mga guests natin, yung mga turista na yan, they are really different from one another. Walang guest na magkakamukha ng gusto. Walang guest na parehas sila ng gusto. So most likely, iba-iba talaga sila. Ganon din si employees. So hindi porket yung employees mo is, like for example, may mga employees kasi or may mga makakatrabaho ka na super sensitive, may mga katrabaho ka naman na super jolly, masiyahin lagi, meron naman yung mapagalitan mo lang, umiiyak na. So syempre si general manager, hindi niya pwedeng basta na lang sisantihin. Itong employee niya na mareklamo, itong employee niya na sensitive. So ibig sabihin, sabi ko nga kanina, a general manager should know the strengths and weaknesses of his or her employees. Kasi pag nalaman mo yung kahinaan nila at kalakasan nila, mas maiintindihan mo sila. Mas makikisama ka sa kanila ng mas maayos. So the executive committee, general manager, using input from the executive committee. So yung mga committees na yun, it includes the directors, ayan, of human resources, food and beverage, rooms division, marketing and sales, engineering, accounting, and so on. So they generally meet once a week, 1 to 2 hours. Of course, they need to have a meeting, particularly para i-report yung financial standing ng company or ng hotel at kung ano pa yung mga important updates. So, although Ritz-Carlton has daily lineup of 9 a.m. and might typically cover some of the following topics. So, as a general manager or sa executive committee, usually ito talaga yung hina-highlight. Yung mga components, guest satisfaction, employee satisfaction, total quality management or the TQM, kung yung occupancy forecast and sales forecast natin or marketing plans is accurate. Siyempre sa isang hotel, kailangan din natin mag-forecast, kailangan din natin ma-predict kung sa summer vacation ba, sa tingin nyo, ilan yung mga guests na pwedeng mag-check-in? Ilan yung mga guests na pwedeng mag-avail ng particular kind of room na to? Okay? So, training, kasama din siya. Major items of expenditure. Renovation is really important, lalo na kung matagal nang nag-ooperate yung hotel. Let's say, for example, kailangan pa bang umabot ng 10 years bago mo ipa-renovate yung mga sira, yung mga kailangan na ayusin ng maintenance department? Of course, hindi. So, kaya nga syempre, si maintenance department, si engineering department, meron silang continuous report na ginagawa. Ownership relations, energy conservation, recycling, new legislation, and profitability. So, ito, really important din talaga, si energy conservation. So, although binabayaran ng mga guests yung kanilang pagstay sa hotel, so sa part ng mga employees, they should also need to conserve energy. So, kung hindi naman kailangan na buksan yung aircon, hindi naman kailangan na gamitin yung particular machine, so dapat hindi natin sindihan o hindi natin dapat gamitin. So, yun din is tulong natin sa company. So, the GMs rely on input from the executive committee more than others too, depending on their leadership and management styles. So, we have here the senior executives determine the character of the property and decide on the mission, vision, goals, and objectives of the hotel. So, si senior executives yung in charge doon. So, next one is the executive committee is involved with the decisions but ultimately responsibility and authority rests with the general manager. So, one of the major role of the committee is that of communicator both up and down the line of authority. So, sa executive committee, so lahat sila, they are in charge sa tinatawag na up and down line of authority. From the highest position up to the lower position. So, as you can see here is the rooms division organizational chart. So, the rooms manager or the rooms division manager, ayan, kung makikita nyo at the top position. Tapos, naka-under sa kanya si front office manager, si security and loss department, and si executive housekeeper. And, yung nasa baba nila, yun yung kanilang mga subordinates. So, as you can see in the picture. So, not all lodging operations will have an executive committee. So, sabi nga natin kanina, depende po siya sa organizational size or sa lodging property size. So, for example, a bed and breakfast, a motel, an inn, usually wala naman na silang executive committee. So, mas simplified yung kanilang management structure. Next one is the rooms division department heads. So, as mentioned a while ago, yung ating front office manager. And behind that, meron pang mga naka-under sa kanya. So, we have here the job title and the basic responsibility. So, front desk manager manage day-to-day operation of the front desk and coordinate communication with the housekeeping. So, as mentioned a while ago or as mentioned many times, that housekeeping department and front office department should be coordinated and united at all times. Front desk supervisor work directly with front desk staff, ensuring quality and efficiency. So, ibig sabihin, kung si front desk manager ang head ng FO department, meron din siyang subordinates, si supervisor. At si supervisor, meron din siyang mga front desk agent na tinatawag o yung mga associates. So most likely, si front desk agent at si guest service attendant, sila mostly yung talagang humaharap sa mga guests. From the checking in procedure up to the check-out procedure and other inquiries. Next one is the bell captain, supervises the bell staff. So si bell staff kasi ang ginagawa niya, it helps or he or she helps the guest into and out of the room. Or pwede rin natin silang tawagin na butler because they're going to assist the guests upon the entry and exit sa kanilang mga rooms. Door person, guests arriving or greet arriving guests and help the guests from their vehicles up to the lobby. Next one is the valet and garage supervisor, manage the valet parking and parking garage staff. So aside from that, meron din tayong nakahiwalay which is the valet parking attendant. So sila naman yung in charge to park and retrieve your cars. So again, itong mga job titles na to or yung mga job outline na to is depende sa size ng inyong hotel property. So parking garage attendant, manage the entry and exits of hotel parking garage. And the PBX supervisor, manage the operation of the hotel, switchboard, and the staff. And of course, si PBX operator, responsible for the smooth execution and internal communication. So usually sila din yung mga telephone operators or sumasagot sa mga inquiries ni guests through telephone or through the system. So concierge manager, manages concierge staff in assisting guests with any or all requests. So si concierge manager, from the word itself, sabi natin, if there are guests na may tanong, if there are guests na may gusto silang malaman kung saan yung particular restaurant na to, ano yung mga, let's say, ano yung mga showing sa particular cinema na to. So si concierge manager together with his staff or concierge attendant, so sila din yung in charge para sa mga guest concerns or sa mga guest requests. So that concludes Module 2.2. So it is a very short module, very detailed also, just like Module 2.1. So I hope you learned something about our lesson for today. So if ever you miss some points here in our Module 2.2, feel free to replay the video or even download the video in YouTube. Thank you so much for listening and watching in our today's lesson. See you again next time. Thank you and keep safe.